All right, everyone, welcome into the Week 11 Underdog Unabated DFS Pick'em Show. I'm joined by Nez from the Badge Brothers yet again. We're going to take a look at the DFS Pick'em tool over on Unabated. We are going to find some shippers, and we are going to get some green dots on the dog app. It's Short King Summer, dude. It just feels like no one in fantasy sports ever learns anything. Does he mistime it, or is Brock Bowers just a grown man? Brock Bowers is just a grown man. Dare I say, Rich, football might be back. In the words of Lane Johnson, this offense looks constipated. It's Short King Summer. Nez, we were very close to the all lowers last week. Do you know the person who ruined our 8-leg all lowers giga shipper generational wealth? It was fucking Keenan Allen.
Fat Keenan, man.
It was Keenan in a game that Caleb Williams threw like 96 yards.
Yeah, he had like all of the yards.
That is peak tilt. That is peak tilt, man.
We were dialed. We were dialed on that one, but that's why we flex the big ones. And well, I guess you have to, but that helped. Still getting a little bit back, but no, I think we were dialed, and I we're on the right track. I feel like we're gonna hit a big one this week, man. Dude, the flexing, honestly, it's changing my life, dude. I've been doing it. I had one last night that got there because of the flex. I was like, I had Jaden Daniels rushing touchdown on like everything I did. Yeah.
So that didn't hit, but I was like, oh my God. I woke up this morning to 3 notifications and I was like, oh my God, this is the greatest.
It's nice to get that you won notification. I do stick with I only do it with 5s. If I'm doing a pick
Correct.
5, I'll flex, but like that has been like a game changer. That I've been, maybe it's just randomness, coincidence, but ever since I started doing that, I've been winning a lot more. So I'm a believer.
It's nice, yeah. And I've been doing some of the NBA ones in the Unabated stuff. I will not be doing any NBA pick'em leans for this promo tonight because I have literally yet to look at a National Basketball Association game for today, and because the Unabated stuff does not come out until 3:30 p.m. Central Time. But when it does, I am gonna load up my app and I'm gonna pick off. I predict some lowers. When they have a lean to the higher, I'm like, all right. But
yeah,
we are gonna check out the DFS Pick'em tool over at Unabated. I got it pulled up here already. I fucking knew it. I knew Derek Carr hires. I felt it in
soul. Know what this is gonna say before you even pull it up.
Like, yeah, and to be fair, it hit last week. He immediately smashed. Not over on attempts, but everything else hit because that's the way it works. But yeah, I mean, I think obviously I would rather die than take a Devon A chain lower. So I think we just go right here and we say, Derek and our friends at Unabated, you know what you're talking about. We are going to register the Derek Carr hire on pass.
I like it. I mean,
feels good.
Like we don't really know who he's going to be getting these yards to. I'm assuming a lot of it will be to Alvin Kamara, but I think this game can be pretty exciting. I think we can definitely get a high scoring affair here, which obviously would bode well for the Derek Carr passing yards. I like that one a lot.
Are you woke enough to take Jameis Winston and Cedric Tillman in 6-mans in BR?
Oh, so I kind of have a weird take about that, which is that like I like naked Jameis in the 6-mans because I think he can spread it around. Like he's been throwing it to a lot of people, and like Tillman, I think if Jameis is taken, so much of those Jameis teams are going to be tied to Tillman. So I think naked Jameis can actually get it done. That's my gal brain sneak peek for my BR strat stuff.
Yeah. All right. Let's do. You know what? I was looking at this. I like Gardner Minshew lower passing yards, and let me tell you why.
I do too.
This dude is so live to get benched in this game.
Yeah.
Like Gardner, like they've already mentioned that Ritter is like a possibility. And once you float the possibility of Desmond Ritter, like you have seen Desmond Ritter play. You've been privy to the Desmond Ritter experience. Pretty like this dude throws an interception on the second drive. I mean, it's over, dude. Yeah. All right.
It's not good. It's not good, right? I mean, like anytime that you're, like you said, that you're floating out Ritter possibly taking over, then like you're in bad shape. And plus, I think this Miami defense is like pretty underrated. Looked pretty solid against the Rams in that victory. I mean, really? Like Minshew? Let's take the lower, man.
Anytime I can find myself leaning into a lower, I'm like, all right, because lowers are the good side anyway. So if I like the lower, I'm like, all right, let's do it.
Feel
And
sharp when we get a lower in.
I like another lower here. The Dobbins stuff is bad for two reasons. I think that Dobbins projects poorly for two reasons. The first one being Gus Edwards came back last week and looked great. He played 14 snaps, got a rush on 10 of them. The other thing is, I don't think that the Chargers are going to be able to just like control this game against the Bengals. I anticipate. I mean, I think the Bengals are going to win this game. I bet them outright on the money line. And I'm a noted Bengals hater. I'm like a noted Bengals hater of
yeah. They got the Burrowhead thing going. I know that's against your brand here. That's an interesting one. I do like it too. I think the emergence of Gus is a problem. I think they would like to keep Dobbins healthy if they can, and plus the pass rate over expectation has been up week over week after their bye with Herbert. So I kind of it pains me because I love the Dobbins story, but
Sure.
I'm okay with doing this. So the Bengals started the year just awful against the ground.
Awful.
But they played the Ravens. So, you kind of have to just like pick that game out. And then when you adjust for, take that game out, they're middle of the pack in rush EPA per play. So potential shootout, probably gonna have to lean on Herbert's arm and a little bit of Gus work. I like the investigative work we just did with that Dobbins pick. This is when things are flowing this smoothly. I mean, Davis, this is the one.
It's true. It's a lock. This Kenneth Walker rushing attempts feels rather low to me. I mean, how often has Kenneth Walker gone under 13 and a half in a game where he's been healthy, I guess?
Yeah.
I mean, he had 25 last week.
Yeah.
14 against Atlanta. He had 14 in the most recent loss to the 49ers. So basically a game that they are competitive, he's going to get it. I think they will be competitive. I would be rather surprised to see a 49ers blowout here. That just has not really been, it's not really been the 49ers MO. They just don't look like that style of team.
They're good, and the spread is pretty large in this game toward the 49ers, obviously, with CMC back. But no, I'm with you on this one. I think this projection on Underdog indicates a game that plays to the spread. And what if it just like it slightly does? What if it's just a little bit more competitive? Then I think that we get the Ken Walker higher on these rush attempts. That's how you beat the Niners too. Like they're pretty good overall on defense, but they're worse against the rush. And we know they love Ken Walker, man. So give me that.
It's true. It's true. All right. Ken Walker, higher rushing attempts, 15 or higher than 13 and a half. The Cardi projection is 15.6. We need a final leg here. I would rather die than take a Drake May lower. Rather die than take a Lamar Jackson lower. This Juwan Johnson number, I don't love it, to be frank.
I know. I have trouble whenever it's like, I get the percentage of the edge, but whenever it's just like one, like just three, it does correlate with Carr, but that also would mean we'd probably
we'd take a little bit
of dock, I'd imagine. Let me just test it out. Yeah, it's too much for my liking. Let's just like talk through this Mac Jones lower completions. Do you think I don't think there's any risk of him getting benched, right? But like, could he possibly play? I don't know who I guess the now second string would be.
Let's find out. Let's find out who this will be. This will be good information. The third string quarterback is none other than CJ Beathard.
Okay, he's not bad.
That he's better than Desmond Ridder.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that much. Yeah,
I'm interested in that lower, man. Like anytime I see a lower that like I agree with, then it makes me.
You're so right.
So like that Mac Jones. Yeah, that Mac Jones lower passing completions.
Let's see what he has on all of them. Weirdly, he's got him higher on passing yards. So he is saying that basically
that's interesting.
That is interesting. I mean, 21 and a half completions is a lot of completions.
Yeah, and I mean they are going to be trailing, but the Lions are, I mean, just obviously a wagon, and I mean
Dude,
they're
14-point favorites.
yeah, they're solid on every end of defense right now. Um, who he's thrown to a banged up Brian Thomas Jr., Parker Washington, Evan Ingram. I mean, I'm into it. I'm into that.
62% of his throws last week went to tight ends.
That's hilarious.
So that's very high.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm into it.
So here's the thing, though. I mean, it's a slight dock, so we could use a slider, but I don't know. That might be a bit much. So let me know
No,
what you
I'm
think.
not sliding Mac Jones completions. I'm gonna keep some self-respect. All right, let's see here. What else do we like? Chase Brown lowers, yeah, right.
Yeah, give me a break.
This one, there's no way this is not sharp. There is no way that taking the lower. I like Audric Estime. It would be
Right.
phenomenal. It would be unreal good for my best ball bags. But there
Yeah.
is no way that Audric Estime, who just randomly played last week for no reason, there's no way that it's sharp. It's bad to take his. I mean, he could get 2 rushes. It could just be totally back to Javonte here.
Well, so I guess like they kind of came out and said that like Audric Estime is going to have a role, and they went out and then they fucking did it. They did exactly what they said. I will say, man, if you agree, if that's your take, then you would probably want to do the lower on rushing attempts if that's the take, because they're favored in this game, and the rush attempts are at 12.5. So like,
I'm surprised that I'm surprised these lines even exist. Honestly, like normally in this spot, the operators will just either not offer or only offer touchdowns or something. Are they offering anything for Javonte? Yeah, they're not even offering anything for Javonte.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that is the standard across like all pick'ems right now, is like what all you're seeing, like you're seeing Javonte projections being hung, and like or Audric Estime projections being hung, and I mean like I said, man, they came out and said that. Like,
no,
let me look around here.
I get it. I'm gonna look at what our friends over at ETR have projected just for this backfield as a whole. I'm gonna guess they have it totally middled. They have look, they have Estimate for 9 points, Javonte for 7.4, McLaughlin for 4.45.
I don't know, man. I'm just being honest. I just don't like it. I'm a little spooked.
Nez, you're getting back. Okay. Check here. Full detailed statistical projection will go live Saturday. So all right, no, that's fine. We'll remove it.
I love these 4 picks that we have going right now. I want to.
We don't want to ruin it. We're trying to cook.
No.
We're trying to cook.
Yeah, we are cooking. We're in the process of it.
Oh, well, here you go. There you go. Alvin Kamara, higher rushing attempts. I mean, that has been free. That has been free money. Dude, like they give this guy the ball like his life depends on it. It's so funny.
Yeah, and I think Jamal Williams is still banged up too.
He is 17 last week, 29 the week before, and then obviously in these huge L's. I mean, honestly, he still got there in some of the L's.
Yeah, let's lock this in, man. 16.5 higher.
16.5 higher. Cardi's got him for almost 18. So we have got, and that shouldn't mess with Derek Carr passing yards, right?
So it is a slight dock, but like,
so let's do Carr to 209.5.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
All right,
Davis, these guys just got to my house, man. That's quite unfortunate.
All right, you gotta bail, dude. Nez, we built one shipper. We built one shipper, and now you can live the dream on your own.
Yeah, depending on how long they take, I'll hop back in.
You pop back in. You pop back in at your convenience, buddy.
Thanks, dude. I'll be right back.
All right,
lock this in.
Everyone, Nez has got to go and let some guys work on his kitchen, because that's what you have to do when you're a grown man. When you're a big grown adult, you have to let people come in your house and solve issues that you can't solve yourself. We're going to do Gardner Minshew lower passing yards. These Gardner Minshew lowers, by the way, anytime there's a threat of in-game benching, you got to be doing it. All right, we are going to do Dobbins lower rushing attempts. Is that right? Yeah, Dobbins lower rushing attempts. Ken Walker higher on the rushing attempts. A lot of Walkers higher. That feels very low. 13.5 feels insanely low to me. I don't know. Just like a lot of these plays are making assumptions about game script, and if you just make a slightly different assumption on the game script, you're living the dream. TCD would love to be doing a kitchen install for Nez. Well, wouldn't we all? Wouldn't we all, buddy? And then Alvin Kamara, higher rushing attempts. Gonna do that. And I'm gonna do this. So when Andy came on the show, when Andy Molitor came on the show, he taught me his little secret trick. This is the secret trick that Andy does. He does half of his entry with the flex. He plays it, and then he goes reuse players, and he does it for the standard. So, I've already submitted this entry. If you intend to recreate it's nice that exists, isn't it? Because then you don't have to end up doing the same thing a bunch. That is pretty nice. I'm glad that Gary Gensler is keeping me safe here on the Underdog app, and I don't have to try and get my money back from Underdog there. All right, there we go. Derek Carr higher passing yards, Minshew lower passing yards, Dobbins rushing attempts, Walker rushing attempts, Alvin Kamara higher rushing attempts. That was a 5-legger. If you are watching this on YouTube on delay, that link is in the description, and I just put that in chat. So that was only a 5-legger. We now need to go back to the DFS tool, and we need to build an 8-legger, and I am going to take that estimate lower on the rushing yards with a 16% edge, because obviously the way that this tool on Unabated works is basically there is a sim being run, and if there's a sim being run, then sometimes it's going to show extra profit even on a number that is fairly close. Let's go a little bit closer to like 3 to 5% expected value and find a win. I do like this one. Will Dissly higher receiving yards? I mean, Will Dissly is like the leading targets per route run guy on the Chargers. Look at this, man. Only 2 targets against Cleveland. He's got a 5 for 41, 8 for 81, 4 for 26. I mean, Will Dissly, dude. This man has been cooking something serious. Never thought I'd be taking Will Dissly. Dontavian Wicks higher receiving yards? I mean, pull my leg, Derek. Dontavian Wicks, 3 targets for 0 receptions against the Lions, 2 for 11, 3 for 48, 1 for 9, 2 for 20, 5 for 78, and 2, 3 for 26 and 1. Dontavian Wicks, 4 touchdowns on the season. Yeah, we're going to take it. We're going to take Dontavian Wicks higher receiving yards. We are also not going to do Jamar Chase higher receiving yards. Absolutely. Absolutely. We are going to do that. Going to skip Swift rushing attempts. Although in general, I do like the rushing attempts, passing attempts, target lines quite a bit. I just feel the projections, the things that like Cardi and Leone and these guys, the things that they are building, they are just going to be so much more directionally accurate on opportunity and efficiency in a single game sample, can go in any direction. What else do we have here that is good? I'm not going to do a Kareem Hunt lower. All right, we're back to where we started. Brian Thomas, higher receiving yards. Evan Ingram, higher receiving yards. I do like that one a good bit. How many legs is that? All right, that's 5. Then we're going to go build 3 more out in the app itself. which is a fun little balance. All right, we have got Audric Estime lower rushing yards. Should we ladder that? How low can you get it? If you just pretend Javante's the starter, you can get 1.79x. We are going to do it just at the 1x, but we've got Disley higher receiving yards. I mean, that does feel a little bit low to me. What up, Clay? We have got Dontavian Wicks higher receiving yards. Man, 16.5. It just feels very low. That's one catch. That's one catch for him. Next up, we have Jamar Chase, and we are going to ladder Jamar Chase here. We are not going to... Oh, it's gone. It's moved. They didn't want us. They did not want us to live. Dang. Do they have stuff for Joe Burrow? They have Joe Burrow passing yards, but they do not have Chase receiving yards. They knew we were going to get him. They knew we were coming. All right, so we got to remove that. We're going to take Evan Ingram higher receiving yards. Let's get that to 49.5, which is right about what Derek has it, right? Yeah, he's got 53, so we're going to take 49.5. Rusty Shackelford, which, by the way, I've been meaning to tell you this forever, Rusty Shackelford. Incredible YouTube name. Dale Gribble, an all-time GOAT. And an all-time great show. He wants us to check DJ Moore receiving yards. So it's funny. This is one where we have the projection is higher than the line, but the edge... Well, actually, but if we add this in, it's still going to give us... We are still going to have a cumulative edge that exists because we have edges on other plays. So let's do DJ Moore. And let's take him to 49.5 receiving yards. Right now, that gives us a 28.08. You do have to lock them in quick. They do move them on you. That's true, Andrew. You know, you gotta stay one step ahead. I will show you guys my favorite play of the week, and I wonder what Mr. Cardi has on this one. But it's going to be Anthony Richardson, 7.5 rushing attempts. Cardi might not have this one. Yeah, he doesn't have... Oh! Yeah, he just doesn't have it projected. So if you ever are on Unabated and you see this I, it means that there's something off in the projection source, basically. So I am going to take Anthony Richardson, 7.5 higher rushing attempts. That brings us to 6. Lou wants us to take Chubb and Rich anytime. I will not be doing that. What do we have for Jaden Reed? Jaden Reed, 45.5 receiving yards. Check out Jaden Reed. I'm going to assume he has not hit this very often this year. 5 for 113 against Detroit. Huh, people kind of forget that happened, huh? Cooper should be playing. He's playing with a cast on his wrist, though. Yeah, we're gonna add Cooper, or we're gonna add Jaden Reed on this one. We have one left. So let's just do, well, no, let's head back to the tool. What did he have for, he didn't have anything for DJ Moore. DJ Moore just not showing up. We've got David Montgomery, lower rushing yards. Don't love that. Josh Allen, lower passing yards. I definitely get that. It's a lot of rushing attempts for Bijan. Bo Nix, higher passing yards. I could do that. I can go with a Bo Nix passing yards. Bo Nix to 219 passing yards. That gets us to... I could have sworn, by the way, and maybe I totally hallucinated this, but I could have sworn that there was a standard payout eligible for an 8-legger that I did the other day. Maybe I'm totally tripping, but there we go. We have got an 8-legger locked in while Nez is getting his kitchen locked in. We have got Audric Estime, lower 56.5 rushing yards. We got Will Dissly, higher 32.5 receiving yards. Dontavian Wicks, higher 16.5 rush plus receiving yards. By the way, that is a sneaky one because the line is the same as his rushing yards. Or the line is the same as his receiving yards. Evan Ingram, higher 49.5 receiving yards. DJ Moore, higher 49.5 receiving yards. Anthony Richardson, higher 7.5 rushing attempts. Jaden Reed, higher than 49.5 receiving yards. And Bo Nix, higher than 219.5 passing yards. The Bo Nix one is pretty sneaky, by the way. Bo Nix we like. All right. Now it is time to generate our touchdowns only. Which, by the way, I don't know if you guys know this, but if you do like the touchdowns only, this should be available. Let's see here. They have the Red Zone Rush on your phone. By the way, there is a surprise promo for... Ooh. They don't have the Red Zone Rush available yet, but the Red Zone Rush is basically you swipe for touchdowns, which is pretty great. All right. Very easy way for us to start here. Devin A-Chain to record a touchdown in this game. It is a 0.89x multiplier. So that means that we will need to generate a higher multiplier. But, let's check who the Vulture Protection is this week. Vulture Protection this week includes CMC, Kyron, Chase Brown. Let's add Chase Brown in there. Chase Brown. Even money to record a touchdown in this game. So there we go. We've got Chubb. Lou liked Chubb. I did not like Chubb as much as Lou did. Brian Robinson Jr., so he would have been protected last night. Dobbins, James Cook, Ken Walker. Walker I'd like. What is Walker's touchdown number here on Underdog? 1.07x. I think we add that in, and that gets a little bit of our multiplier back. Who else is protected? Joe Mixon is protected. What is Mixon's touchdown number? Mixon's touchdown number. Oh, I hate that. That is gross. Purdy counts, I believe. Purdy counts. Use spell check would count as well. Yeah, they are. It's a lot less sweatier. True. Someone said my boy Holka mentioned Travis Kelce. Kelce at 1.28x. Bang. There you go. Joe, wherever you're at, man, I love you. I appreciate you. Hope you're having a great season. We are adding Travis Kelce into our touchdown multiplier. We need to throw in a Lions player. Do you guys want to do Montgomery or Gibbs? Well, Gibbs has the Vulture Protection, and Montgomery does not. So let's toss Gibbs in there. We currently are at, with the flex, a 10x multiplier. But when we up the legs, what is Aaron Jones? Aaron Jones is even money, effectively. I don't hate that. Justin Jefferson, 1 point. You know what? Justin Jefferson, come on, man. What are we doing here? Justin Jefferson with a slight multiplier. Welcome in. What is Breece Hall to Oh, Jonathan Taylor? Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Does Breece have the Vulture Protection? Breece does have the Vulture. He does no multiplier. I think we do JT. We get the Vulture Protection for Trey Sermon. or Tyler Goodson. And do we do CMC? Do we do Kamara? Brees, it's true. It's true. I am hearing more and more that Brees is a trap. CMC is point. Nah, man, I can't do that. That's nuts. What is Cedric Tillman to record a touchdown? Cedric Tillman, 1.57x. Yeah, I think we do that. All right, there we go. We have the all touchdown multiplier. That is to win $1,451. The link to that is in the YouTube chat, and it is in the description of this podcast. Devin Achane to record a touchdown. Chase Brown to record a touchdown. Kenneth Walker to record a touchdown. Kelsey to record a touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs, Justin Jefferson, Jonathan Taylor, Cedric Tillman. So we have the vulture protection for Jonathan Taylor, for Jahmyr Gibbs, for Ken Walker, for Chase Brown, and for Devin Achane. Probably doesn't mean anything, but it is nice. It is nice to have. Let's see if we have any promos. We have a college basketball only promo. Can't help me there. And we have the NBA only promotion. So I will be using that tonight when Unabated releases their projections. Let's head back in. And we need to do the gold star. We need to do the gold star play, right? I think at the end of the day, you just want as many teams as possible. All right, let's go. Maybe I don't have a gold star play this week, honestly. Well, I do have a gold star play, and it is Anthony Richardson, 7.5 rushing attempts. That is a gold star play for me. Jameis, do you not have pick'em champions in Pennsylvania? Maybe you don't. I don't think I have one that I won for like $100 on. I don't think I feel confident enough in any of these. So let's head back over to the tool. And what I want to do is I want to build a slider. I want to build a slider one where we have the ladders. So this is actually this is a good way to do this. Let's see who is very likely to be on some of my DFS teams this weekend. That's a great way to build a sliding pool. So let's do Jaden Reed, who is one of my favorite guys in DFS this week. Jaden Reed to get, Jaden Reed to get more than 100 receiving yards, 4.53x, something that he did in their most recent game. So that is going to be the first multiplier. Who else is interesting here? Let's go to the value. Let's do Achane receiving ladder. So I do really like the unabated projections ones, and the Richardson does have it lower because I am what you would call, James, a no-baller. So someone who thinks they know football, like I think that I know football, effectively is going to use projections as a base, but there are some things that I feel that I know about the game of football that I disagree with the person making the projections with. And one of the things that I disagree with Derek Carty, who does the projections that are going in here. So on Unabated, the way I use the projections is I use, when I set up the projections, I do 100% of the projections on the Blitz, which is Derek Carty's statistical modeling. And I respect Derek. I put money behind Derek's opinions every single week in these Underdog pick'ems. But there are, basically there are just some things that I'm going to disagree with Derek on. And that is one of them. And I will even show you why I think that I know ball. Anthony Richardson, before he got benched, these games right here, these are the most rushing attempts. This game right here, specifically this game against Miami that they won, this was the most designed rushing attempts he'd ever had in a game before. I think basically what the Indianapolis Colts are going to do is I think that they are going to emphasize what Anthony Richardson can do well and de-emphasize what he is doing poorly. And I think we are going to see quite a good chunk of Anthony Richardson runs in this game. Therefore, gold star play. All right, we are going to tease the receiving yards for Devin Achane up to 59.5 receiving yards. I don't think we need to go all the way. But Achane has been so effective as a receiver. He actually wasn't in that game against the Rams, which I suppose is sort of interesting. But if you look at his stuff, I mean, he's been a better receiver than he has been a rusher this year. His catch rate is very high. His yards per target is very high relative to last year. 4.7 receptions per game for a running back is quite high. So I feel pretty good about that for Achane. Check back over here in the DFS projections. Gibbs, interesting to see Gibbs as a positive value play. Let's see if there's anything good there with the old Jahmyr Gibbs sliders. So we can get Jahmyr Gibbs up to 124 scrimmage yards at 2.12x. Oh, did they might have removed that from me already. Let's see. Yeah, they did. Look at that. They snapped it away from me. Yeah, next week, Artillery Frost. Basically, I was gonna try and do it last night. I have some family in town, and I've got some. Basically, I'm living. Basically, I'm living my life, and I've got. Can't be at my computer 24 hours a day, effectively. Actually, my dog's sister. So my little golden retriever puppy, I had her sister here at home. She's back. She is in town visiting. So my little puppy is getting to play with her sister, which is pretty cool. I think it's very I love the NBA League Cup. I think it's awesome. My opinion. Other opinions are out there, but I think it's great. I really enjoy the NBA Cup. Anyways, back to business. Let's see if I refresh. And see if we can get a Gibbs. There we go. It's back. Jahmyr Gibbs, 124.5 combo yards. How often has Jahmyr Gibbs generated 124.5 combo yards? And how often has that been games they've been favored a ton? So he did it in that game against the Titans, huge. He did it in the game against the Vikings. So he's done it twice. So I definitely got like what you would call, you'd call that a bad number for sure. Although you definitely see his role has expanded. Yes. Yeah, that's a good one. Anytime you think a guy can get benched, I like the sliders on anyone where the playing time could be wrong. All right. Gibbs. Who else do we like? I do like Puka sliders. Can we get Puka to... Nah, that feels a little light. Doesn't that feel a little bit light to you guys? I would not stack Anthony Richardson in. I would not stack Anthony Richardson in DFS. I think I would play him solo. You know what? What a Drake May slider, bro. Why are they hating on my boy Drake May? In the games that they lost, he went 206, 276, 243. Why are they... Dude, come on. What are we doing here? Let's get Drake May to 229.5. That's the max I'm allowed to win. You guys see that? The max entry multiplier has been reached. Ooh, Rusty. Do we have Gerald Everett? Oh, you can't take a lower. I wish if he had like lower 0.5 receptions or something. Let's remove this Gibbs one and get a more reasonable, because right now, what's our multiplier? 10. Okay. Let's do Gibbs. They took away my combo yards again. Can't believe they would take away my combo yards. All right, Jahmyr Gibbs. Combo yards, 99.5. I'm not loving the way those numbers are shaking out. I don't think they're wrong. I'm just not loving the way they're shaking out. So we've got Reed May Achan. What do we have for Chase Brown? Chase Brown, combo yards, get him to 124. There we go. There we go. Well, okay. Let's do that. Chase Brown, we're going to do 5 for the standard. We got that in. The all slider play. So we've got that, and then I'm going to do reuse players, and I'm also going to flex center. That's called thinking with your head. It's called think. So we've done the sliders. We have done the all touchdowns. We've done the all unabated plays. So we probably need another 8-legger, right? Probably another 8-legger is going to be the movement here. Be interesting to do some of the input volatility ones. Okay, I've waited 30 seconds. Play up to 500. Bang. Oh, dude. I did it again. I clicked reuse players again. No need. All right, there we go. Those are locked in. Oh, I got a good one. We should do the DFS cash team. That's a good one. So let's see, what is the cash team gonna be? All right, let's see what we have over here at Unabated for. Actually, let's try and do something else. Let's lower the blitz. Let's make the market-based projections. Let's just see what happens. We use the market-based projections for 25% of it. Let's see if there's anything there. Yeah, I didn't think there would be. Isn't that so funny? That's how good the market is, generally speaking. Oh, you guys are seeing a little bit of the secret sauce with the NBA. How about that? Yeah, there's nothing really there. Darnell Washington, higher receiving yards. Nick Westbrook-Ikini, higher. Ashton Jeanty, he goes for $1 billion. Do we have is Ashton Jeanty? They don't have anything up for him yet. I don't even know who Boise State plays. Oh, it's like a rivalry game, I think, maybe for Boise State. All right. The cash team, we've got well, I tell you what, I'll bet my bottom dollar that something is off in these projections, because Hunter Henry ain't gonna be anywhere near the optimal. Let's do McCaffrey, and let's take him to generate 28.5 receiving yards. I don't love that, actually. Let's do Purdy to generate 1.5 passing touchdowns. That I like a good deal. Let's do Cedric Tillman. These Tillman numbers to me seem stunningly low. I mean, Cedric Tillman has been so good since Jameis took over. 6 for 75, 7 for 99, 8 for 81. These are... I have to have weird settings on. Something is wrong with my Opto stuff. Although Jacoby Myers was in there. What are Jacoby Myers' lines? Tillman has to be in there, though. Tillman to 59.5 receiving yards. What do we have for Jacoby Myers? Jacoby Myers, 50.5 receiving yards. Ooh. What was Demario Douglas's route participation like last week? I want to say maybe his route participation went down, but I can check that here on the utilization report. Let's check the new. Maybe there's something to be found here for the Patriots. Demario Douglas, his route participation did go down a good bit. His route participation went down. Kayshon Bouttie's went way up. 100% of the routes. Jalen Polk route participation went back up. No Kendrick Bourne. KJ Osborne came back. That's why. KJ Osborne coming back. Not great. Well, is there something there on the Patriots wide receivers? Maybe? Maybe there's something there on the Patriots wide receivers. So we've got Henry for 3.5 receptions. Douglas for 3.5. No reception lines for the other guys. Kayshon Boutte. What does Cardi have for Boutte? Cardi has Boutte for 34.5 receiving yards. Does Davis Allen have a line? Davis Allen has touchdown only. Does Dawson Knox? No, nothing for Dawson Knox. What a bummer. All right, so far we've got Purdy passing touchdown, Tillman receiving yards. Yeah, Jeanty is for sure going 101. I mean, the dude is too good. If you've never watched Ashton Jeanty play, you've got to go check the Gene Meister. Who else is going to be well, Myers, right? Myers is for sure. They're going to make me refresh, which is fine. All right. Jacoby Myers. Oh, they don't have anything available. They really don't. Sort by value at the flex. Kelsey's possible. Debo, kind of a weird bit of a week. Let's go check. I'm gonna go check the Roto Grinders projections. Maybe that'll help me with the best cash plays. Yeah, that's so true. When he goes anywhere, I mean, that's the thing is Ashton Jeanty is gonna be like the number one pick. Okay. Wow, Cardi loves him some Jameis. So let's do it. Let's toss in. Why would we not toss in a Jameis Winston over? Jameis Winston higher than 249.5 passing yards. Kamara, yeah, you got to include Kamara. Obviously got to include Kamara. Kamara to record a touchdown. We do get the vulture protection there. What is Taysom? I mean, let's just see. What do we have for Taysom Hill? Isn't that crazy? Taysom Hill only 1.69x to record a touchdown. I mean, it's probably fair, but man, I don't think I could take that. Ken Walker, McCaffrey, Achane, London, Bijan. Well, here, actually, this is funnier. Let's sort by projected ownership. Kayshon Boutte. All right. Boutte chalk. Why not? Why would Boutte not be chalk? And I mean, it's a good spot for him. Let's do 39.5 receiving yards. So we gotta find a little bit of ceiling there. Dawson Knox. Oh, look at that. Look at your boy writing there in lineup HQ over at Roto Grinders. Debo, Brees, Davis Allen, Estime, Shakir. Calvin Austin, Cortland Sutton. Sutton will Reeves really likes Sutton, and Sutton is definitely going to get owned. What does Cardi have for Sutton? Cardi has Sutton for 62.8. All right. Cortland Sutton to get over 59.5 receiving yards. That's 6. Bourne is not going to play, bro. Bourne is not going to play, I don't think. Tillman, Kelsey, Javonte. No, that's Jamison Williams. These peons are looking a little bit weird. Is Noah Fant not going to play? Oh, Mayo said he's back. All right, that's not as good for Kayshon Boutte. Maybe you wouldn't want to do that one on Kayshon Boutte. Tell you what. So we've got Kamara. We got it. Honestly, you have to include McCaffrey though. McCaffrey is going to get and Achane. Achane. Let's just take the touchdown. The Achane touchdown. When Achane scores that touchdown, it is going to be phenomenal stuff for us here on the program. Does Rico Dowdle have any lines? Do they have stuff up for Monday yet? Oh, buddy. Rico Dowdle to record. I mean, what has Rico's routes been like? They have to have been good. And this is, did you guys see the Mike McCarthy quote? 3 targets, 6 targets, 6 targets, 2 targets. Yeah. We are taking Rico Dowdle. Does Cardi have anything on Rico? Cardi has Rico for 20 and a half. He's got him for higher rushing yards too. Let's do 19 and a half. All right, there we go. That gets us to, it's not a great multiplier, but we will take it. Got that locked in for the 8-legger. The cash game 8-legger. All right, boys. It was a fun little journey. Nez helped us out to begin with, so shout out to Nez. You know, some of the spots here are let me readjust my projections. Go back to 100% of the blitz. So I got, it's so funny. Like, I super disagree with the top one here with the Devin Achane lower rush attempts. Yeah, there you go. Lupke's banged up as well. So some of the pretty clear spots in the unabated tool this week. The Derek Carr higher on the passing yards, and Jameis, by the way, higher on the passing yards. That game, actually, no, interesting. He thinks the market has about right. That is kind of interesting. He's got lowers on J.K. Dobbins, or the tool has lowers on J.K. Dobbins, both rushing attempts and rushing yards, which makes total sense to me. We've got Gus Edwards as, one of the... Gus Edwards looked awesome last week. He came back from that knee injury and looked phenomenal, so I totally see why that makes sense. I think attacking some of these benching spots looks pretty good. I know that Audric Estime would be great for our best ball teams and everything, but I am personally looking forward to... Well, I'm not looking forward to it. I would love for Audric Estime to come out, score 3 rushing touchdowns, like the Broncos beat the Falcons and my bags get pumped, but I don't think that's going to be the way that it goes. I don't think Javonte will go to absolute 0. I don't love this. Is Isaiah Likely going to play? Let's find out. Isaiah Likely, because if he plays, Isaiah Likely returns to Ravens practice. All right. I would not take Mark Andrews' highers, but I wouldn't take his lowers. Does that make sense? I wouldn't take his lowers either. And I think regardless of Likely being in or out, 1.44x is probably good. Yeah. Likely's been practicing, so I wouldn't really touch these lowers either. What else here is interesting in the tool? Kyle Pitts. I mean, obviously, I think Kyle Pitts is your all-time slider player. What is Kyle Pitts to not have a catch? Kyle Pitts, you could go all the way down to 29.5 yards as the lower. I mean, Kyle Pitts has probably had less than that in half his games this year, I would bet. Kyle Pitts has had less than 29 yards once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. So 40% of the time. I mean, you're probably getting a pretty good number there. I'm not going to do it again because you do not want to be rooting against your own bags, but that would be an interesting one. I like the Goff higher passing yards. Basically, I think with Jared Goff and the Lions, you guys want to know the way I'm treating that game? I'm treating it like it's this game against the Tennessee Titans, and that's very funny. He had 85 passing yards in that game. But would it really surprise you if we get a redo of this game? David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, Brock Wright, St. Brown, Laporta, and obviously the crazy Khalif Raymond stuff. Man, the Khalif Raymond stuff. If you had Khalif Raymond best ball bags, that was like the best day of your life. You were chilling there. I think that this is probably directionally accurate. I definitely think Ken Walker higher rushing attempts is directionally accurate. Gibbs, I don't know how many rushing attempts did he get in this 52-point victory in that game. Wow, how about 20 carries for Tony Pollard completely dead? Yeah, Gibbs and Montgomery both went lower in that game, although the special team stuff had something to do with it. When you take a lower, you are so rooting for special teams chaos. That's a huge part of it. I would never take a Devin A-Chain lower. I would definitely take a Mac Jones lower. I would never take a Lamar Jackson lower. I mean, imagine the mental tomfoolery you would have to do with yourself watching Lamar Jackson and taking lower. You'd be so sick. You'd be like, oh, I took Lamar Jackson not to do something, and then he easily does it, and you're like, wow, I'm an idiot. We can end there. I don't know what I think about. I'm definitely watching this fight, so I'd like to have an opinion. And I would like to have a wager. I think in the end, I don't. Which Paul is it? Is it Jake Paul or is it Logan Paul? I don't know which one. I think they have lines for this on Underdog, right? We have what do you got to do? Boxing. So we've got fight time, 13 minutes. Knockdowns. Is that like basically like a knockdown? Is that like a win? We've got is knockdowns effectively a win? Like if you knock them down, that means they're out for the count. I don't know if you guys can tell. Not a big boxing guy. In fact, I believe the only boxing match I ever wagered on was Mayweather McGregor. I don't believe I have ever wagered on another boxing match. This is my gut take. No, I understand the concept of a knockout, but obviously the way it's gonna work is gonna be different on Underdog because they have to, like they do it for tennis that way, like games and matches played, but effectively there's a way. Could be rigged for Paul. That's definitely true. Here's my opinion. Jake Paul is definitely in way better shape. And in general, I would bet on, what is he, 30 years younger than Mike Tyson? 25 years younger, something like that. I don't know. But, and wasn't Mike Tyson bad at the end of his boxing career anyway? Didn't he lose a couple at the end anyway? I don't know, man. I'm going to watch it. It's going to be a last second decision by me. Are you allowed to correlate these? You're not allowed to correlate these. Oh, knockouts. You could just, so you just do, I don't know. What do we do? Do we think Paul is gonna rope a dope? That feels, I think whatever, man. I think you do something and you have a little bit of rooting 14-ounce gloves and 2-minute rounds, both of which really work against Tyson on top of his age. I don't know, bro. I do not know. I'm not a boxing expert. I would not pretend to be a boxing expert. I will say, push come to shove, I'm probably going to do the YouTuber. But who knows? I am maybe my friends at Unabated will have a social media clip that gets me to where I want to go. That is going to do it for us here at the Unabated Underdog DFS Pick'em show here on the channel. Of course, I will be back on Sunday morning to do the DFS live stream. I hope that you all have a phenomenal Friday. Hope you have a great Saturday. And please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Check out Unabated. There's a link to it in the description of this podcast. Later, everybody. It's Short King Summer, dude. It just feels like no one in fantasy sports ever learns anything. Does he mistime it, or is Brock Bowers just a grown man? Brock Bowers is just a grown man. Dare I say, Rich, football might be back. In the words of Lane Johnson, this